Good morning, everyone. Today, we will continue with our discussion on accuracy and precision. So, in the previous class, we looked into the various types of errors that are there in any analytical determinations, and we looked into how to solve these errors. So today we will be looking into more precisely the definition of precision and accuracy, because often these precision and accuracy is being used interchangeably. So it leads to a lot of confusion in the specification of these terms. So that is what we are going to look into in today's class. So before I left with in the previous session, I asked you this question in which two different measurements are being done, and you were asked that out of these two measurements, which is the most precise one? And correctly in the live session, you predicted out that the first one is the most precise one. Precision. It reflects the closeness among the replicate measurements of the same quantity. That means if you measure a quantity different number of times, and every time you find that the values are close to each other, we say that that measurement has good precision. So that is actually a physical meaning of what do you understand or define by precision. Let's look into the textbook definition of the precision. It is the degree of agreement between two or more replicate measurements made on a sample in an identical manner, that is, in the same fashion. Exactly, this has same meaning as we have just now looked into, that if you do two or more replicate measurements of a sample in an identical manner without changing the method in which you are measuring that particular quantity, then if they are having good agreement between them, then we say that these measurements have good precision. This precision in a particular measurement is usually denoted using error distribution curve. So this curve looks pretty similar to the curve that we had looked into previously when we were talking about indeterminate error. So in this graph, you can see that you plot the different measurement values that you have, the identical measurement values that you have taken, and here on the y-axis you plot the number of times those readings have come into while you are measuring. So when you do the plot between the number of times a given value occurs with the measurement values that you have gotten for a quantity, the shape looks like a bell curve, or it is more of a mathematical term would be, it looks like a Gaussian curve. And as you can see, the values, if you have infinite number of measurements you have taken, it would look like a line. But if you have specific, like few measurements, those measurements would be like getting closer to a mean set of value, that is the value that is having a higher frequency of occurrence. Okay, so these type of graphs are termed as error distribution curve. There are two important things that you get to understand from the error distribution curve. These are the height and the dispersion or the spread of the distribution curve. So the height and the spread or the area of the error distribution curve gives you an idea about the measurement characteristic, like whether these measurements are precise or they are not very precise. So as it is written down here, lesser the spread and higher the peak represent more precise measurement. So that means if the area of this error distribution curve as well as the height area is less and if height is more, then that will represent a more precise measurement. For example, here we see two different error distribution curves. One is denoted by dotted lines, another is by solid lines. And we see that, as you can easily guess out, that out of these two error distribution curve, the solid one is the more precise one because it has lesser distribution area as well as more height. So from the error distribution curve, we come to know about the precision of the measurements that are being taken. So it is a very good indication about the precision of measurement. These precision in any measurement is usually mathematically represented by few terms. One of the terms that we use to express precision is average deviation from the mean, represented by a symbol small d. So it is equal to xi minus x bar divided by the total number of measurements. So xi is the individual measurements. X bar is actually from this term, this symbol you might have already learned in mathematics. So it is actually the average or the mean, which means summation of the measurement divided by the total number of measurements. So that is x bar. So xi minus x bar over the whole of measurement divided by the total number of measurements. That will give the average deviation from the mean. Similarly, you can find out the relative average deviation. Only thing that you have to do is you have to divide this with the mean. When you do that, you will get the relative average deviation. Another way of expressing precision is standard deviation, which is nothing but square root of summation xi minus x bar whole square divided by n minus 1 whole square root. So this is the standard deviation, another way of representing precision in a measurement, where n is the number of total number of measurements. So n minus 1 in this particular thing is actually the degrees of freedom for the set of n measurements, or n minus 1 independent deviation from the mean. This is what it represents in a physical sense. These are the degrees of freedom for n measurements, and these are n minus 1 dependent deviation from the mean. This is certain terminologies that we use for this particular quantity. This degrees of freedom you might have come across when you are doing the molecular spectroscopy. In that, when we are considering the degrees of freedom of motion, okay, there you come across this terminology is called degrees of freedom, or the independent deviations that are possible. That is the number of deviations that are possible in a set of measurements. Okay, so after finding the standard deviation, you can also find out the relative standard deviation. Again, it is just division of the standard deviation with the mean. Okay, if you multiply by 1000, you will get this value as part per 1000, and if you multiply by 100, you will get this value as a percentage. Here we denote this part percent by a symbol by called relative standard deviation, shortly represented as capital RST. And the one relative standard deviation expressed in percentage is called as coefficient of variance, which is represented by CD. So these are the two ways in which you actually measure out the deviations that are occurring in, or deviation occurring in any sorts of analytical determination. And this is a mathematical way of showing the precision in a measurement. If the deviations are higher, then that means they are less precise, and if these deviations are lesser, then that means they are more precise measurements. Coming to accuracy. So after precision, now the next term that we have to look into is accuracy. As it is defined, it is the closeness of a measurement or a set of measurements to the accepted value. It is usually expressed as absolute or relative error. These two terms we have already looked into in our previous classes. So here the closeness of the measurement is to the accepted value or the true value. Okay, so accepted value, we have already discussed what do you mean by that. So whenever the measurements are closer to the accepted value, we say that the measurements are accurate. But however, if we are talking about the closeness to some mean value, then we say those are precise. However, if that mean value is your accepted value also, then that means those measurements are actually accurate, very accurate kind of measurement. So whenever the measurements are closer to the accepted value, we change precision with accuracy. Then we talk about what you call as accuracy. Now, I have jotted down the differences between accuracy and precision. So first of all, the difference is in their definition itself. Accuracy is the closeness of the measurements to the accepted value. However, precision is the closeness of the measurement to a mean set of value. Second thing that is there is the precision can be determined by a replicate measurement of the same quantity. However, accuracy is a vague value as it involves accepted value. So precision actually can be found out from the error distribution curve, which we just now saw. So in error distribution curve, for a same quantity, we will measure it, we will measure some duplicate measurement. That means we will do for the same measurement lot of replicate measurements, and we plot a graph, and from there we get a more precise kind of measurements. However, in accuracy, since it's connected to the accepted value, it is very vague, because as I have discussed when I was starting this course, I told you that these accepted values are kind of something which we have accepted it to be true. So it can always be refuted by anyone, because they will say that no, this is not the accepted value. We can have some other accepted value. So we have to reach to a general consensus for getting a accepted value. That's why this accepted value is little bit vague for every kind of measurements. So accuracy can be a cause of vagueness in the value, because accepted value itself is a very, very vague value that we set for a particular measurements. Then the numerical expressions used in these two cases are pretty different. Like for precision, the thing that we use is average standard deviation and standard deviation. These are the two expressions that we use for calculating the precision. However, for accuracy, we will use absolute error or relative error, which we have discussed in our previous classes for expression, as a mathematical expression. Then when you look into the error distribution curve, you also can talk about the error distribution curve as to be more accurate or more precise. So among these three graphs, if you look into this middle one, can be called as more accurate, okay, and more precise measurement is this one, because this is having a larger height and therefore lesser spread in the distribution curve. Therefore, these are more precise. However, if you talk in terms of accuracy, this one and this one, if you compare, this graph is more closer to the accepted value, which is shown here by a red line. So this error distribution curve is more accurate. However, this is more precise than this accurate measurement. So this more or less help you to understand what is the difference between the accuracy and precision. So I hope you have understood very well this topic of accuracy and precision, and I'm hoping that if you have any doubt, you can continue to ask me regarding it. Probably today itself I'll be posting the question answers or quiz type of question for this particular topic. Before that, if you have any questions related to it, you can ask me, so I'll help you with that. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you very much.